Ah, SpongeBob SquarePants. The name conjures up images of colorful characters, wacky antics, and that infectious laugh. We all remember the pineapple house, the Krusty Krab, and those iconic flower-shaped clouds. They've been a staple of our childhoods, a symbol of innocent joy and carefree fun, or so we thought. What if those cheerful clouds held a dark secret, something sinister lurking beneath the surface of Bikini Bottom? For years, fans have brushed aside these questions, dismissing them as overactive imaginations. But what if those imaginations were onto something? What if the truth, much like those seemingly innocent clouds, has been hiding in plain sight all along? Prepare yourselves, dear viewers, as we delve into the unsettling world of SpongeBob SquarePants and uncover the truth behind those two perfect flowers. The internet is abuzz with theories, each one more unsettling than the last. Whispers of boat propellers and nuclear testing have begun to surface, casting a long dark shadow over our beloved Bikini Bottom. Could it be that our favorite porous protagonist and his underwater cohorts are living in a post-apocalyptic wasteland? The evidence, while seemingly outlandish, is hard to ignore. The shape of the clouds, their peculiar behavior, even the show's setting, all point towards a darker reality than the one we were led to believe. Join us as we dissect these theories, examining the clues and piecing together the unsettling puzzle that is SpongeBob's true nature. The creators remain tight-lipped, but the evidence speaks for itself. The truth, however disturbing, cannot be silenced. Hold on to your seats, dear viewers, as we journey into the heart of Bikini Bottom and expose the unsettling truth behind SpongeBob's flower clouds. This is not a story for the faint of heart. This is a story that will change the way you see SpongeBob SquarePants forever. The first theory we'll explore is as chilling as it is convincing. Look closely at those flower clouds, those supposed symbols of innocence and joy. Notice anything peculiar about their shape, their symmetry, the number of petals they possess? Now, compare them to a boat propeller. The resemblance is uncanny, isn't it? Proponents of this theory argue that the flowers are nothing more than distorted images of boat propellers. These propellers, churning the waters above, create an optical illusion when viewed from the depths of Bikini Bottom. But why would the creators disguise such a mundane object as a flower? The answer, my friends, is far more sinister than you might think. The waters of our oceans are a fickle mistress. Light, when passing through its depths, can bend and distort, creating all manner of illusions. This phenomenon, known as refraction, could be the key to understanding the flower cloud mystery. Imagine, if you will, a boat propeller slicing through the water high above Bikini Bottom. The light bouncing off its blades travels down through the waves. As it passes from the less dense air into the denser water, it bends. This bending of light could warp the image of the propeller, transforming it from a menacing mechanical object into a seemingly harmless, flower-like shape. But this illusion of safety is just that, an illusion. This theory isn't just built on speculation and optical illusions. Several pieces of evidence scattered throughout the series lend credence to this unsettling possibility. Remember that episode where Karen, Plankton's sentient computer wife, accidentally knocks a flower cloud out of the sky? Pay close attention to how it falls, heavy, fast, and decidedly metallic. Furthermore, consider the state of Bikini Bottom itself. The seabed is littered with fishhooks, anchors, and other debris, suggesting a constant threat from above. This seemingly random assortment of junk takes on a sinister meaning when viewed through the lens of the propeller theory. Could these be the remnants of near misses, the aftermath of propellers plunging into Bikini Bottom? If this theory holds water, then SpongeBob and his friends are living in a perpetual state of danger. Imagine for a moment the psychological toll it would take to live under the constant threat of a giant metal propeller crashing down from the sky. This constant fear could explain SpongeBob's often manic behavior, his tendency to overreact, and his almost delusional optimism. Could it be that our favorite Sponge isn't just quirky but suffering from a severe case of post-traumatic stress disorder? This chilling possibility adds a whole new layer of darkness to the seemingly whimsical world of SpongeBob SquarePants. But as unsettling as this theory is, it pales in comparison to the next one. We'll delve into the terrifying reality of the nuclear pollution theory in the next act. Brace yourselves, dear viewers, because things are about to get much, much darker. We've all laughed at the name Bikini Bottom, assuming it was just another example of the show's absurdist humor. But what if this seemingly nonsensical name held a dark and disturbing truth? You see, Bikini Bottom shares its name with a real-world location, Bikini Atoll, a ring of coral islands in the Marshall Islands. And Bikini Atoll has a horrific past, one that casts a long shadow over the cheerful facade of SpongeBob's world. Between 1946 and 1958, the United States conducted 23 nuclear tests at Bikini Atoll, detonating bombs of unimaginable power and displacing the indigenous population. These tests turned a once pristine paradise into a radioactive wasteland, forever scarring the landscape and its inhabitants. Could it be that the Bikini Bottom we know and love is not a product of whimsical imagination, but a chilling reflection of this real-world horror? Now let's talk about those flower clouds again. We've already explored the possibility that they're distorted images of boat propellers. But what if their true nature is far more sinister? Look closely at their colors, those vibrant hues swirling together. Now compare them to images of oil slicks, those iridescent sheens that plague our oceans after an oil spill. The resemblance is striking, isn't it? Proponents of the nuclear pollution theory argue that those flower clouds aren't clouds at all, but rather giant oil slicks, remnants of the nuclear tests that ravaged Bikini Atoll. These slicks, composed of irradiated seawater, hydrocarbons, and other toxic materials, float on the ocean's surface, their colors distorted by the water and the intense radiation. It's a horrifying thought, but it explains the clouds' peculiar behavior, their unnatural stillness, and their ever-present nature. Unlike real clouds, they never seem to dissipate or change shape, a chilling reminder of the permanent damage inflicted upon this underwater world. If Bikini Bottom truly is a post-nuclear wasteland, then it stands to reason that its inhabitants would bear the marks of radiation exposure. And indeed, when we look at the citizens of Bikini Bottom, we see a plethora of mutations and abnormalities that defy all logic and reason. SpongeBob himself, a talking sentient sponge, is the most obvious example. Then there's Patrick, a starfish with a severe case of arrested development. Squidward, a cephalopod with an impossibly bulbous head. Mr. Krabs, a crab with eyes on stalks and an insatiable lust for money. Plankton, a tiny copepod with delusions of grandeur. And Sandy, a squirrel who can somehow breathe underwater. These are not just quirky cartoon characters, they're walking, talking examples of genetic mutations gone wild. Section 4, A Creator's Warning, Hillenburg's Hidden Message. Some might dismiss these theories as mere speculation, the product of overactive imaginations. However, there's one crucial detail that lends credence to the nuclear pollution theory, the show's creator, Stephen Hillenburg. Hillenburg wasn't just a talented animator, he was also a marine biologist with a deep love for the ocean and its creatures. Given his background, it's hard to believe that he would choose the name Bikini Bottom without understanding its real-world implications. Could it be that Hillenburg, a man who dedicated his life to educating others about the ocean, was using SpongeBob's SquarePants as a platform to subtly raise awareness about the dangers of nuclear testing? Was his intention to create a cautionary tale, disguised as a children's cartoon, a warning about the lasting impact of human actions on our planet? The evidence, while circumstantial, is certainly compelling. Section 5, The Cover-Up. Why hide the horrific truth? Now you might be asking yourself, if Bikini Bottom is a nuclear wasteland, why haven't the creators just come out and said so? Why all the secrecy and subterfuge? The answer is simple: marketability. Nickelodeon, a network aimed at children, couldn't exactly market a show about the horrors of nuclear war and its devastating effects on marine life. So they did what any savvy corporation would do. They buried the truth in plain sight, disguising it as whimsical humor and colorful animation. Those flower clouds? Just a bit of artistic license. The mutated characters? Pure cartoon logic. The constant threat of falling debris? Well, it wouldn't be Bikini Bottom without a little chaos, right? Section 1. The Official Narrative, A Childlike Facade. When confronted with these unsettling theories, the creators and network executives behind SpongeBob SquarePants offer a collective shrug and a disarmingly simple explanation. They're just clouds. Like the ones you see in the sky, only more flowery. It's a convenient answer, one designed to appease concerned parents and maintain the show's image of childlike innocence. After all, who wants to believe that their children's favorite cartoon is actually a thinly veiled commentary on nuclear holocaust? It's easier, more palatable, to accept the official narrative, to embrace the illusion of a carefree underwater utopia. But as any seasoned detective knows, the simplest explanation isn't always the correct one. The more we delve into the world of SpongeBob SquarePants, the more inconsistencies emerge, cracks in the carefully constructed facade of innocence. Take for instance, the episode where Squidward travels back in time to prehistoric Bikini Bottom. Notice anything missing from the sky? That's right, the flower clouds are nowhere to be seen. Now we know what you're thinking. Maybe the animators just forgot to draw them in. But in a show as meticulously crafted as SpongeBob, such an oversight seems highly unlikely. Could it be that the absence of flower clouds in prehistoric Bikini Bottom is intentional, a subtle hint from the creators that these clouds are not a natural phenomenon, but rather a product of something more recent, more sinister? And then there's the curious case of the Krabby Patty secret formula. In the early seasons of the show, eagle-eyed viewers noticed something peculiar about the formula's ingredients list: radiation symbols. These symbols, hidden amongst the more mundane ingredients like flour and pickles, seem to appear and disappear at random, almost as if the animators were engaged in a game of subliminal messaging. The presence of these radiation symbols, however fleeting, raises some troubling questions. Could it be that the Krabby Patty, the culinary cornerstone of Bikini Bottom, is actually made with irradiated ingredients? Is this the secret to its addictive flavor, its ability to induce hallucinations and mutations in its consumers? And if so, what does this say about the overall health and well-being of Bikini Bottom's residents? Are they all slowly poisoning themselves with each bite of that seemingly innocuous burger? The implications are as disturbing as they are intriguing. Is it possible that the creators were using the Krabby Patty as a metaphor for the insidious nature of nuclear contamination? How something seemingly harmless can have devastating long-term consequences? Or is it just a case of dark humor, a way for the writers to inject a bit of morbid reality into their otherwise absurd cartoon world? Section 4. A calculated risk shielding innocence, at what cost? Whatever the reason, one thing is clear. The creators of SpongeBob's SquarePants were playing a dangerous game, one that involved balancing the innocence of childhood with the harsh realities of the world. They knew that they couldn't explicitly address the horrors of nuclear war in a children's cartoon, so they chose to bury the truth in symbolism and subtext, hoping that their young viewers wouldn't notice or wouldn't understand. But perhaps they underestimated the intelligence and curiosity of their audience. Perhaps they didn't realize that children, with their unfiltered imaginations and their keen eye for detail, would be the ones to see through the facade, to uncover the darkness lurking beneath the surface of Bikini Bottom. Section 1. The Weight of Evidence, a Verdict for Darkness. We've journeyed deep into the abyss of Bikini Bottom, peeling back the layers of cheerful animation to expose the unsettling possibilities lurking beneath. The evidence, while often circumstantial, paints a bleak picture, a stark contrast to the show's whimsical facade. The boat propeller theory, with its chilling logic and disturbing implications, suggests a world in perpetual peril, where everyday life is overshadowed by the threat of falling debris. The nuclear pollution theory, even more unsettling, posits that SpongeBob and his friends are the products of a nuclear legacy, their very existence a testament to mankind's capacity for destruction. While both theories offer compelling arguments, the weight of evidence seems to tip in favor of the nuclear pollution theory. The undeniable connection to Bikini Atoll, the striking resemblance of the flower clouds to oil slicks, the plethora of mutations amongst the characters. These factors, taken together, create a narrative too compelling to ignore. It's a narrative that forces us to confront the uncomfortable possibility that our beloved SpongeBob SquarePants, a show synonymous with laughter and lighthearted fun, could be a cautionary tale, a warning about the enduring consequences of our actions. Section 2. Bikini Bottom's Legacy, a Shattered Innocence. The implications of these theories extend far beyond the realm of children's entertainment. They force us to question our own perceptions, our willingness to accept the surface of things at face value. For many of us, SpongeBob SquarePants was a cornerstone of our childhood, a source of joy, laughter, and escapism. To consider that this beloved show might be rooted in such darkness can feel like a betrayal, a shattering of our cherished memories. The vibrant colors seem a little less bright now, the characters a little less innocent. We find ourselves questioning everything, wondering if the jokes we laughed at were actually cries for help, if the absurdity we embraced masked a deeper, more unsettling truth. This sense of unease, this loss of innocence, is perhaps the most disturbing aspect of these theories. It's a reminder that even in the seemingly safe haven of children's entertainment, darkness can lurk, and the truth, once revealed, can be difficult to reconcile with our cherished memories. Section 3. The unsettling truth, a call to awareness. So what are we to make of all this? Do we reject these theories as the ramblings of conspiracy theorists, choosing to cling to the comforting illusion of Bikini Bottom's innocence? Or do we embrace the unsettling possibility that our childhoods were built on a foundation of hidden truths and uncomfortable realities? The choice ultimately is yours. But one thing is certain, we can no longer view SpongeBob SquarePants through the same lens of naive enjoyment. The show, whether intentionally or not, has sparked a conversation, forcing us to confront the darker side of our world, even in the most unexpected of places. Perhaps that's the true legacy of SpongeBob's Flower Clouds, a reminder that the world is a complex, often contradictory place, and that even the most seemingly innocent things can hold hidden depths. It's a call to awareness, an invitation to question what we see, to look beyond the surface, and grapple with the unsettling possibilities that lie beneath. And in a world increasingly dominated by misinformation and superficiality, that's a message we should all take to heart.